Readicide came out of experience I had in a senior class where my students were reading All Quiet on the Western Front. And as part of that unit, I was giving them some outside reading to augment the text. This was a couple of years ago when the country was having the debate on whether we should support a surge in Iraq or not. And so I brought my kids opposing editorials. One editorial argued that President Bush was correct, that this was a turning point in the war and that we should stay the course. The second article had almost the exact opposite point of view, or editorial, that this was a quagmire, it will always be a quagmire, and this is the reasons why we should get the heck out of there. So my kids were reading the opposing editorials, and on a first draft read, they were highlighting where their confusion was, and I was walking around the room, and one young lady raised her hand and said, "Mr. Gallagher, this part is very confusing to me." So I looked over her shoulder, and she had highlighted a line that said something about the lifeblood of Al-Qaeda. So I started to give her kind of the reading teacher speech there. Well, you know, what can we do here to try to make sense of this text? And she turned to me and she said, I don't think the reading strategy stuff is going to help me. I said, well, why not? And she said, and remember the line she had highlighted said something about the lifeblood of Al-Qaeda. She said to me, "I don't even know who this Al guy is." And she was serious, and the young lady across from her said, "Yeah, who's this Al guy?" And so here I was standing in front of two seniors, both of them old enough to vote in the upcoming election. Both of them had passed every state test. Both of them were passing English and were getting ready to graduate with a diploma in hand. And yet they couldn't tell me who Al-Qaeda was when the United States had been at war for a number of years at that time. So this incident just sort of told me, you know, the problem that we're having with readers, that we're not giving them the right kinds of reading, and that we need to really start augmenting our classic literature, which I'm a big proponent of, with real-world text that's going to help them sort of make sense of the world that they're about to inherit. The test prep curriculum is, I think, pigeonholing them in a way that might help them pass tests, but it's not, I don't think it's healthy for our democracy to be graduating kids who don't know who Al-Qaeda is or who don't know who the Vice President of the United States is.